Hello, everyone. Have you ever been in a situation where you want to sort a visual in your own way as against using the default Power BI ascending and descending order sorting feature? This is what I mean. If you look at this value, you have the highest, let me turn on data labels. You have the highest to the lowest sorting. I mean, it's sorting it by count of names. And if you go ahead and say, no, I want to see it in ascending order, it will sort it from lowest to the highest. But the resorting we want to do here is sorting this visual by age groups. And we want it to work in a way that young adults, which is considered the smallest age group, should be first, followed by adults, followed by older adults, then followed by elderly, and not in this arrangement. If I go ahead and say, okay, I want to sort this by age groups, you see, it's going to give me adult instead of having young adult first, it's giving me adult, elderly, older adult, young adult. That's not what I want. We might say, okay, what if we put it in descending order? Descending order is still not going to work. It's giving me young adult first, then followed by older adult. Whereas in my hierarchy, I want it to be young adult, then older adult, and finally elderly. Now, how do we solve this kind of problem? Because, for example, your manager or whoever gave you the task can say, I want to see it in the ascending age range, that is children first, then teenagers, something like that. Then how do you go about it? All right. I'm going to show you how to do this. And one interesting thing I will also show you is how to actually do a list in Power BI. For example, this report, we had nothing like young adults, old adults in the original data, right? All we had was age. It was me that categorized or grouped the age into these categories. So I will show you how to do a list in Power BI. Of course, we can use DAX. So when you use switch function to say switch if age is uh, between this and this, or age is greater than this and less than this, call it children. If it is, do call it adult, etc. But I'm going to use one that does not even require you writing any line of code. How do we do it? So this is what the itinerary of the thing I will show you today look like. I want to create age range, which we already have here, but I'm still going to show you how to create it, and it's called age group. So how to create a group from an existing column. You click on that column, and then you right click on the column and you say new group. When you do new group, you go ahead, group type, you say I want a list, click on list. And you say I want to make sure that 18, and you press your shift and select the range you want. So for example, I want to the range of 18 to say 30 to be called. So to name it, you will double click on this selection. You see that after selecting them, they are all here, 18 to 30. I will double click on it and I call them young adult. Yeah, or younger adult. So I can just give it any name I give it, that's what you find there, younger adult. And I will say, okay, I want to do from 31 to whichever is next again. So I want to do from 31 to 45 and call them adult. Double click on it, call them adult. Press enter, and I'll say from 46, press shift before you keep selecting the rest of the numbers. Once you press the first number, you press shift and you keep selecting. And I want to say from to 60, call them, double click, you click on and call them older adults, like we are the older adults. Press enter and go ahead to say from 61 to 85. Make sure your hand is on shift. Otherwise, this is what will happen. So I lifted my hand from shift and all the selections, I lost everything. So make sure your hand is on shift until you are done selecting. You can even select it like that. So, but you must press shift and press 61 and it will select everything for you. So you press group and you can come here, double click and call them elderly and enter. And age group, you can rename it to say, I want to call this age classification. So, and you go ahead and hit OK. So when you hit OK, you see that age classification. And when you go to a new page, so for example, put this here and I say put age classification in my x-axis, drag it to x-axis and put the name in y-axis. So, and then you turn on your data labels to see, and you see, okay, I have elderly, older adults, adults, and younger adults. So that is you creating a new list or a new category, which actually give you the privilege of having a deeper insight into a data. Because, for example, nobody knows the percentage, for example, of adults that are being hospitalized. So it's a patient record. This is what the records look like. You have their names, you have their blood type, their admission dates, their date of admission type, discharge date, their medical condition, their insurance provider, their age, uh, their medical costs, the hospital they were in. So you see kind of two tip that give you information of an individual at a glance like this. So creating age group can then give you an avenue to say, so we can at the end of the day calculate how much young adult or elderly we have hospitalized per year and etc. So for us to now do the sorting in a way we like, so like I said, we don't want it to be in this kind of uh uh, arrangement. We want younger adult to come first, followed by adult, followed by older adult, and followed by elderly. But you see that this kind of arrangement as we have it would actually give us what we want, but it's still not the perfect way, right? It's just because we are lucky because of the way I did the grouping that's the number align. So if you look at this kind of grouping, the number does not really align that way. So we'll be using this. So let me remove this. And I can also come ahead and delete this age classification. So I just show you how to create age classification, by the way. All right. So we'll be using this. And I say we want to be able to sort this as such that it will be to how we want it. So what we do is, first of all, we create a sort table. That's the first step we'll be taking, sort table. I think I've got a couple of them here, so I'm going to delete this. I'll delete this. I'll leave the existing one. So to create a sort table, you go to your enter data. When you click on enter data, you say, I want this to be age group. And I want this to be sort order. Sort order. And I said, so you have to make sure that you type this word for word. Don't make mistake. And I will say, I want the first one to be adult. One. Then I want young adults to follow. Just pay attention. young adults. I want young adult to follow, and that will be 2. And I want just older adults. I want older adults to follow, and that will be 3. And number 4, I want the elderly to be the last, and that will be 4. And I will name this table my sorting table. Sorting table. Okay. So once that is done, I'll go ahead and create a relationship between that sort table and my healthcare data set table where I have the original age column. So I'll go to my relationship. You see, it has created auto relationship by itself. So always switch that off. It's not the best. So because sometimes it mess up with your data. So I'll delete this. So because it's already, so if you click on it, it's saying sort order, sort order. So I'll delete it, delete this, and I'll say I want you to bond with this table. So age group, that's what I want. Want to main relationship, of course. I'll click save. So once that relationship is established, I'll go to the front and I will create a calculated column with what we call with a function called related. So related is a function that allow you to call a value from one table, and it's going to allow you to have a smooth working around 2 different tables. So, and it's easier because we already created a relationship between them. So I will come here inside this table. I think there was sort of a contradiction the other time. So I'm going to delete this anyway. Because I have that created already. So I will say create, right click on the table, say create new column, and I'll say I want it to be called sort column. And I'll say sort column equals related. I want related sort order. So that's the one. You know, in the sorting table, we have 2 columns, age group and sorting order, but I want that sort order. So now we hit okay. So I have my sort column here. All right. So let's see how this work. If I go ahead and click on this visual and I say I'll click on age group, and then I'll go to sort by column. Sort by what column? So I'll click here, and if I say I want, so I think originally it is sorted by age groups, and of course it can either sort it by age group for you or sort it by names. But in this instance, I will say I want to sort it by the sort column. So, and you see, the moment I say sort it by sort column, what it did for me was that it became elderly, older adult, young adults, and adults. You see that what it is doing currently is that it is showing me descending order, right? For the 1 to 4 that I did, if you look at the 1 to 4 that I did, it's showing me descending order for that sorting table. So it's showing me 4, 3, 2, 1. So if you look there, you see elderly, older adults, young adult, adults, elderly, older adults, young adult, adults. But I want it to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So I will click on this and do the sorting to be ascending order. So this way, if you look at what I have now, I have the youngest age, which is 18 to whatever adult, then the young adult, then the older adult, and then the elderly. So this way, you can actually manipulate however your manager or the task owner wants you to present the hierarchy and of course the sorting order. Uh, this is where I'm going to be stopping. I hope you find this quite interesting. Let me know in the comment section if you find it useful. Of course, as a data analyst, if you're already on the field, you will see that some of these things are really useful, both creating a list from ranges of numbers and then creating a sorting order the way you want it to be. Sorry, people say, your content is not for beginners, it's just for people that are already data analysts. Of course, I sort of have target for our alumni in Exovert Training Academy. We have a training academy and we train people. So we just trying to give more to our alumni. But of course, with time, I will start creating content that are related to um, beginners. All right. Thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and I will produce more content like this. All right. Thanks.